Right, welcome back to Venture 82. It's been a few weeks. We're now going to do the last two stations of the JER, be over 2 videos. Just there is the path there that goes just behind these little woods, and that's where the train used to go. So just to recap, because it was a while ago I did Grooville Station. The last station we did was Grooville Station. When the train left Grooville Station, it would have crossed the road, which this road here, which is Ruidom, it would have been just further up before Iceland. It would have crossed the road where there's now a little tiny gravel car park. It would have gone behind Iceland, through what's now houses, and would have come out and it would have gone along here. And this is the section we're going to follow, hopefully without me getting twatted by any golf balls, but we'll see. And what you can also see here is that you've got a lot of devastation because Storm Ciarán had some dramatic effects on Gorey. But yeah, so today, like I say, we're off to Gorey Village Station, which is now, there's not an awful lot left of it. The building's still there, but that's about it. And it's heavily modified, but we'll go through that when we get there. And then in the next video, we'll continue on and we'll have a good look around the pier where the rails went up there. And on our way up here also, I'll show you where actually there used to be a piece of German track that went off that most people don't realise even existed, because most people don't realise the Germans branched off of the Eastern Railway. They think they only branched off of the Western one. So with that in mind, we'll go this way. Ooh, almost forgot. Before I disappear on you and we go to some sort of like magical musical intro that I try to do, you might notice the camera's being done properly. It's because Erica's back. No, they can't see you. Right, we're off. See? Now I've got a proper camera person. We know my head's not going to get lopped off. Right, no, so yeah, no, actually, Stephen, forward Stephen, cut to intro. We may well have to go on the golf course. Why?
Because they're rude.
Not all golf people are rude. So you've just offended people like Nick Faldo, somebody Montgomery, I've forgotten his first name. Tiger Woods, probably shouldn't mention him actually, he's had a lot of trouble recently. Okay.
See? Thank you, there we go.
Shakin' Stevens.
Well, you know, can't have it always.
Yeah. Right, anyway, back to the video. Right, so as we go down here, you'll see that the path comes upwards, and that's where we go up onto the embankment that would have once had the railway on it, this section of path. I don't know whether it would have been here, it may well have been here. So some little bits and pieces I normally tell you, as I always do, about the railway as we work along. So, what can I tell you about this station? Well, it was the original terminus of the station for the first 3 weeks of its life. However, when it first opened, the station's terminus, the actual main terminus on this end, was Grooville that we were at last time. And then 3 weeks later, Gorey Village opened. It was running behind. It's the only one, aside from the Green Street station, that had water pumping facilities. The pump house is still there, but it like the station's been heavily modified. And you can see here none of this would have been here. So if you can imagine when they were actually going along here on the train back in the day, what they would have actually been looking at was a clear view out to the coast, which I would imagine be quite amazing. And this is what I was warning you about as we came along here. See, look, that's what Storm Ciarán's done. So we're having to kind of work around that to try and follow the line to the best of our ability. We will inevitably end up on the golf course because the railway did go across the golf course. Erica doesn't want to admit we're going to end up on the golf course because Eric is of the opinion that most golfers, not all, but most golfers are quite annoying and very, very rude, especially when you're in their way. The problem is, unless you've played golf, you're not really aware of the etiquette of a golf course, and most seem to assume that you should know. Wow, this tree's not just fallen apart, it's literally split. Look at that. That's insane. So if you remember, not last week, it would have been the week before, there wasn't one out last week. I showed you what happened to the railway walk. If you haven't seen that, do go and have a look. See what I mean here, look. We're on the golf course. But I don't understand how we're on the golf course. Oh look, he's over there. That's where the shot comes from, over there. So that's what that is. It's a little hut over there. I wonder what that is. At least I know I'm safe, or mainly safe. Look out for low-flying golf balls, people. Seriously. Dangerous. See, this wasn't a problem the railway had. There wasn't golfers. I wonder what that little hut is over there in the house. Little house hut thing under that tree over there. Right, so we would have gone through here. They would have had a nice view of Fort William as well, if you know about Fort William. It's one of the old base forts that was used by the Jersey militia. There's quite a few of them along the coast. Although a lot of the Martello towers were never actually used. They're still kept as historical monuments though. See this little hut there? Right, so see, this is the bit Erica was dreading. See, look. Danger. For your own safety, please beware of flying golf balls. Use the perimeter paths for walking. Dogs must be kept on leads at all times. I'm sorry, dogs must be kept on leads. Why would you let a dog off in their lead on a golf course? I mean, we have a dog. You've met Mary. You saw her in the last video, in fact. And I'm almost certain she would chase the golf ball. So I don't understand why you'd walk a dog on a golf course, but okay. I suppose it is public land. There's some stairs there to nothing, concrete ones. Unless there's something hidden here. This is all looking very suspicious. Not railway related, but I'm curious. See that? CCTV cameras. What if this was like, with the massive mound and the concrete, don't know, is there something underneath the mound then? Does it go underground? What? Trying to figure out, because it dips quite low down here as well, so yeah, maybe it looks like it may have been dug out. Wonder what that was for. I was all very curious. The only people I know that dug out stuff like that was the Germans, but maybe it's something else, I'm not sure. If there is anything here German related, I'm pretty sure Shane or Paul will let me know. But they may well have done, you know, because this would be the ideal place for the Germans back in the day to have had something, because we're on the coastline. I know that the pier was heavily guarded. Right, so we need to get our bearings, which means I need to find somewhere higher up to show you what we're doing. So we have up here something. What's this? See, I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, this is a starting pad for a hole. Right, so I know where we are now. Right, so we started off over this way, through those trees. Railway would have come round, it was slightly curved, would have gone along roughly where you can see the flat green grass there between the two mounds. It would have gone through here, down here, and then if you see the dark bushes in the distance there, would have gone through there and into the car park. And that's where we're heading to. Obviously this has been heavily modified over the years. This would have been flat when the train was here. But with adding a golf course and stuff, obviously they've added mounds. They've added kind of obstacles, if you like, to make the golf course more interesting. So with that in mind, I'll see you a bit further down the line, hopefully without a golf ball replacing my eye like I'm in Tom and Jerry cartoon. I'll see you in a minute. Right, so I made it out the golf course. I'm still alive. So as you walk down here, we'll continue to give you some more information about this train station. So as I said, it was the main terminus until 1891. Oh, my mind's frazzled. I'll get to that bit later. But yeah, till 1891, this was the main terminus. And then they removed the buffers and they built the extension. They went down to the pier. So that's what happened there. But this is also a good time to tell you what's been going on with me, why there was a video missing, why my videos have been done on my phone as of late, etc. So let me just find somewhere to sit. I'll explain that to you, and then if I turn this camera around and show you, we're almost at the station, and then I'll show you that. But first things first, there's lots of nice benches here because this is Gorey Common. So we'll find one of those and I shall explain some things. See you in a minute. Right, just as I'm going to find somewhere to sit, and there's a really annoying man with a chainsaw, we're getting to this road here. You should see on the camera there, it's called Union Road. Now, Union Road, if you look on old maps, and when I say old maps, if you look on maps prior to the 1940s and prior to the during the occupation, Union Road doesn't exist on any map, and that's because it didn't. There was no road. Union Road was built by the Germans, but not as a road. It was built as a branch off from the Gorey line. So the Gorey line would have come through here, and then you had a branch off, and it used to come off down here, and used to go up there, and it used to go down into what now are lanes, into the village and into the lower half of Queen's Valley, because there was quarries down here, and the Germans had linked up to the quarries down here on the east of the island as well as the ones on the west, and that is what this was for. The other reason that they relayed the track on the east end of the island was because they actually used Gorey Pier for freight, not as much as town. Obviously town's always going to be the main port because it's the easiest one to get to and it's the biggest, the most capable, but they did have freight coming to Gorey as well, small amounts of supplies and things. So this was very important to them for their building efforts and things. So come the end of the war in 1945, the track was lifted, but you still had this flat bed here. So what they did is they tarmacked it and they turned it into a road, and in a situation where you needed more housing, it's now got houses on it. But this road was never originally here, it's a German road. Erica has just spotted a bench, so we should now go and sit on that. Now I've all told you all about the Germans, well, this bit anyway, and explain to you, like I said, about the inconsistencies with the channel as of late. So yeah, we'll get that done. It should be interesting. Right, here we go. Right, so as I mentioned quite a few months ago, we're planning to move to the UK in May, and that meant doing some reorganising within our personal lives. So I left the job I was doing with Erica, and Erica went to work on her own back in the shop like she used to when I first met her. But about 3 or 4 weeks in to Erica working, you know, I started struggling with life in general and finding that actually there's quite a lot of things that I can't do on my own. I always thought I could, but looking back on them, I've always been fortunate enough to have someone with me, so I wouldn't have really known that I can't do it by myself. Which has led me now to being in the midst of an autism diagnosis, which I found out originally, which I went to try and sort out back in April, and for whatever reason that we don't know, the referral was never sent. So we did a self-referral and Erica filled the form in for me, because you can do it yourself as well. And that's now been sent off, and that's been processed by the Jersey Adult Autism. But the problem with the inconsistency came, like I say, when Erica was working, because what I found is that I hate the word, but I can't function on my own. So things like going to the supermarket, going to town, keeping track of what the 3 different schools want us to do for 3 different kids, and the dates and the times and everything else, whether it's written down or not, I can't process it all at once. And I've been fortunate enough over the last 20 years that because I've worked with Erica, we've always done all that together, so I would never have known. So you fast forward along there and you get to 2 weeks ago, and I completely shut down. I wasn't doing anything. When I was dropping off Erica, I was in tears. When I woke up in the morning, I was in tears. I was an emotional wreck, to say the least. I felt like I was a dead weight and a burden to everybody and holding everybody back, and I was causing everybody problems. And to a point, I still feel that way. But I'm getting there. So the upshot of the situation is that we found out is that because of me and my pending autistic diagnosis and the way that my brain functions, and it doesn't function in a way that allows for the way things work now. So like working, for instance, now involves doing a rota system for most people, where you do various hours on different days. Your day off varies from week to week, your hours vary from week to week and from day to day. So one Tuesday you might do 9 till 5, the following Tuesday you might do 12 till 10, depending where you work, and that kind of thing. And I can't wrap my head around that kind of inconsistency. I can't not know what I'm doing and wait until the last minute to find out. My brain cannot process that. I have a meltdown and I get quite agitated and anxious because I don't know what I'm doing, and you probably won't ever see it on camera because I'm damn good at turning it off when I'm in front of this camera. But I found it genuinely really, really hard. So the upshot of it now is that Eric is now unemployed and has to stay with me. I'm waiting for the appropriate documents to be sent from the JER. My doctor's already sent a letter to explain to Social Security why I can't work with Erica. And it's not like I don't want to. I mean, I'm more than happy to do something like working from home and things that I can do on a consistent basis at the same time all the time and know what I'm doing and have the same days off and everything, but that's not something I can do here. I did go on Facebook to find out about stuff like that, and for the most part people thought it was a good idea to just have a laugh and take the mick, which wasn't at all productive and helpful to me in any way. In fact, one gentleman on the post I put on Facebook asking about whether or not there's any work from home jobs that you can do, actually turned around and put that nobody owes me a living and it's up to me to get my arse out there and look for one. If only it were that simple, but it isn't. So the upshot of it is that, yeah, I'm going through a pending autistic diagnosis, which can take anything from 6 months to a year. I think they said the waiting list is. Hopefully that'll be done before we leave the island, because there's a very nice lady there at Jersey Adult Autism who's been helping me and is hoping to bring that forward for me so I can sort that out before we go. But yeah, just mainly to let you guys know if there is any inconsistency, if there's a week where I haven't done a video, or I've done a video but it's been kind of last minute on my phone like the last couple, it's not because I don't care, it's not because I'm being lazy, it's me trying to kick myself up the backside and keep going when I really want to stop. My mind wants me to just sit and do nothing, and I'm trying to fight it the best of my ability. So with that in mind, we'll move on to a slightly more positive theme, and we'll go and we'll have a look at this station. But yeah, I just thought it was only fair that you guys should know why there's gaps, and if there's gaps and stuff, because at some point someone will ask. It's also need to let you know that for the time being at least, I've closed down the Adventure 82 shop because essentially no one was using it, and I have to pay monthly subscription to both the people I had the website with and the people who were doing the printing, even if no one bought anything. And in the current situation, I can't afford that. So for the time being, the Adventure 82 shop I've closed down. If I have the money, or hopefully at some point I'll have the money, I'll reopen it. But for now anyway, back to the train. Apparently, Erica won't cross the road anywhere but at a designated crossing. So she's staying on the opposite side of the road to me until she gets to the island there. I have no idea why. Right. Whilst we're waiting for Erica to cross the road and meet us on the same side that we're on. Hang on. Yeah, sorry about that. I had to check something. It looked like my iPhone turned off. Right, so whilst we're waiting for Erica to cross the road and meet us on the same side that we're actually already on, we'll have a look at what used to be the Gorey Village train station. So, hang on a minute. I'm gonna have to go down the bank. Hey, jump. Ugh. Right, so I'm down. Right, so this is by far and away of all the surviving Eastern Railway buildings the most heavily modified. So there's going to be a lot of explaining to do. So let me try and explain what's going on here. So this blue building was being the water pump house. The top bit never existed. That was built later on when they turned it in to a residence for someone to live in. So originally, if you see this lip here, that's where the pump house stopped. That was the pump house. So this was where the train would refill with water before going on to Gorey Pier, where it would then also have a turning loop an actual loop of track, which is, I know, is highly unusual, to turn the train around for it to face the right way to go back to town. You can also see how they've added a garage on as well here, so that wouldn't have been there either. The building beyond there, which has now got a green balcony, that's the station building. It was on this side that you would have had the platform. I don't have access to the back, so I have no idea if the platform's still there. I'm guessing probably not, looking at how heavily modified everything else has been. But if you come around the front, I can show you how heavy the modifications have been. So we're now back on roadside. So they've even named it water tower, because what you would have had above this originally was just a water tower, and then the pump house was there to pump the water out the water tower, down a hose into the train. So the main entrance originally into the station would have been here. Obviously not this kind of paving, but it would have been here, and you would have gone out onto the platform there. And then you've got your main station buildings here. So you've got, this is the main building. You can see here how it's been altered. So this section with the green door, actually, let me see if I can cross the road. I can show you better that way. Right, so now across the road you can see the building in its entirety a lot better. So what you've got here is a mixture. So on this side specifically, it's not been too heavily modified. So you have the original door here, and you have another original door there. But what they've done is a lot of the modification has been inside. So if you see, this says Old Station House North. And if you look, there's a little, what looks like a train station sign here in the garden that says Station House South. What they've done is they've cut the building in half internally. So you would have had like the booking and waiting hall side on this side. That's one house. And then this bit here is a smaller house. And that's how it's been heavily modified in that retrospect. The windows, etc., still have the same problems that, not the same problems, the same regulations that Grooville Station does in replacing them, etc. The other thing they've done here, as far as I've been told, is obviously, as you've probably seen from all the other ones, there was always a side entrance on one of them, and that's no longer there either. So, but this is, yeah, see, they've had like a patio added onto it and things. By all accounts, from what I can see here, yeah, the platform's most definitely gone. But the train would have come out of here, and it would have gone along here, through these flats that wouldn't have been here at the time, called Royal Sands, and straight down and across the slipway. And so that slipway that you will see me in the next video. But that's the next video. That's not now, because otherwise I'll have nothing to show you. So if I pass this camera on to Erica next. Oh, just before we go, just like to point out an honourable mention here to the old Courthouse Hotel that used to be there, that's now been turned into apartments. It's a nightmare. I may well do a video actually on the Oakland Hotel as well. We'll see about that one. Anyway, I'll pass the camera on to Erica and we'll do our end section. Right, so that's it from this one. With Gorey vegetation behind me, not much left apart from to say goodbye. And yeah, thank you for following the channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you liked what you see, because there will be more. Varying quality right now because I'm relearning who I was, because my capabilities, I thought, or what I thought my capabilities were over the last 41 years and what they are aren't the same. So it's kind of like being back to a teenager again, kind of learning about myself. It's a lot to take in. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one, and I hope you have a brilliant week.